Hello, good evening. Welcome. This is Hot Edition. We're live on YouTube at Adesawe Kanda, also live on Kesmi 107.1 in Tamale and beyond. We're live on W93.5 in Wa and beyond. Also, we're streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can all log on now and get to see all the documents and the videos will be streaming alongside as we go on the program this evening. We can also be connected with you live on 3news.com all across the world. Coming up this evening here on Hot Edition, the anti-graft campaigner Martin Pebble is challenging the special prosecutor's claim that the conduct of the former Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, Charles Edouboahing, in the Aremia Anas Galamsey expose did not amount to criminality. The NDC, meanwhile, says it will institute criminal investigations into the OSP's report. Stay with us. We get details of that. Plus, the latest very unfortunate reports we're getting that robbers have killed a guard at the Suhum fuel station. We'll give you details of that shortly here on Hot Edition on 3FM. 92.7, and the Electoral Commission has also laid a constitutional instrument for the creation of the Guan constituency. We'll give you details of exactly what's happening in Parliament as we're getting information. Parliament is still in session on the first day of the resumption from their recess. Stay with us here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7. We have the latest in business, sports, and entertainment coming up over the next 60 minutes. I am Alfred Ocansey. Let's get into the details now. As private legal practitioner and anti-graft campaigner Martin Pebble says he disagrees with the report of the special prosecutor which absolves the former Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, Charles Edouboahing, of criminal offense in the Aremia Anas Galamsey economy expose. The minister was caught on tape bargaining with a supposed investor and who's an undercover agent of Tega IPI for appearance fee to facilitate a meeting with the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Following the expose, the minister was relieved of his post and subsequently referred to the Special Prosecutor for investigation. After nearly a year of probe, the OSP has ordered the closure of investigation, stating that the minister's conduct amounted to trading in influence or influence peddling, and that there was no actual criminal prohibition of his acts. Now, reacting to the report, however, Martin Pebbles, private legal practitioner and leader of one of three independent bondholder groups, and then also the convener of the Komipreko Reloaded demonstration, contended that the OSP got the interpretation of the Criminal Offences Act wrong. He says the former minister cannot go scot-free in this matter. Meanwhile, the opposition NDC says the next NDC government shall institute criminal investigations into the special prosecutor's report on Charles Edouboahing with the objective of prosecuting all those found culpable. In a statement, the National Communications Officer of the NDC, Sami Jemfi, said the report smacks of a cover-up and has the potential to dampen public confidence in the Office of Special Prosecutor if not reviewed immediately. It said the conduct of Charles Edouboahing constitutes corruption of monumental proportions and must not go unpunished. Shortly, we'll hear from Martin Pebble, who will be joining us on this particular issue and why he disagrees with the parts of the OSP's conclusion on this matter. Stay with us here on Hot Edition. But while we talk about it, the special prosecutor, in wrapping up its investigations into the corruption allegations against Charles Edouboahing, the former Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, they indicated that the allegations originated from an investigative expose produced by journalist Aremia Anas, in which the Galamsey economy, the former minister suggested that the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, was instrumental in connecting investors and that a payment of $200,000 was needed to facilitate a meeting with the Vice President. However, according to the OSP's own findings, Dr. Bawumia was unaware of Edouboahing's actions. And that's according to the special prosecutor in his conclusions on this particular issue. And that's why a number of anti-corruption crusaders and also bodies, institutions like the Ghana Integrity Initiative, and then also the likes of Adam Senanu, of all raised concerns about the conclusions by the special prosecutor and how that impacts on the fight against corruption in this country. But take a listen to parts of this Galamsey economy expose by the late Ahmed Swale with Tiger IPI, which was aired. That led to this investigation and the subsequent referral of this matter to the special prosecutor.
However, if he can get a grievance start once we are on the process of opening this bank, he will learn that.
Edu Bwahini was then presented with some money by the investigators who posed as investors as part of the undercover sting.
He would like to know the percentage that he would take for him. It is not a problem.
You know, it's hard to come up with a percentage because I don't know the amount of work involved.
When it comes to the percentages, he says that, for instance, if it is about 100, let's say million. He said that it's too small figure for me to understand. So almost before we finish our discussion.
Thank you very much.
He says that he knows whatever I like in the form of generation. This is just procedure. So we want to do a lot of businesses like that. So once we give him an indication of the percentage, we can work it.
After being briefed of our plan, Edu Bwahini offered to earn 20% commission on the potential deal and mapped out a strategy we could use. Before then, he admitted to owning a real estate company, opening himself up to conflict of interest issues.
You know, it's like, let me give you an example, right? I own myself a real estate company. So we do a lot of real estate. We just finished an office block. We do residential, blah, blah. You know, usually the projects are about 15 million or 20 million. So now, if we said, I want to do 2 projects, you know, each one we are building affordable housing, we want to do 1,000 units of affordable housing, it will cost $50 million or something. So, coming with me, let's share that, you know, put it in as equity. Normally we make a return of maybe 25% return, 30% on our equity investment when we do these projects. So then you say, okay, fine. If I bring the whole 50 million for the project, you know, 20% of it is yours. You know, whatever return you make on that 20%, you make that one. I take all 10% or something like that. That's the way we can do it. Or we can say that, okay, fine. You know, put the money to work, invest in so and so, give you a 10% finance fee, and then we'll give you a share of whatever return we make on double. You know, that is something we can do. So it's up to you and how you're comfortable and how you want to work. I don't want to make any money without having worked for it. You know, I believe in working for money. You know, I don't know if
he says it is good to somewhere 500 and therefore if they can get that money as soon as possible into Ghana so that we can use it to start some of this commitment that they are trying to do in Ghana to the family.
Okay, let me think about that because I think we can manage something. It shouldn't be a problem. Maybe not, you can't do all at once.
Yeah.
You know, gradually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He mentioned that I forgot to add that.
Yeah.
If you are looking at the figure of $500 million, how much percentage those who are going to involve before you will lead them?
Yes.
How much do you think that you should be entitled to? For it, that's how he is. From the word go, he wants to know in clear cut what are the person I'm negotiating with, what would be your cut?
Okay. What do you think is fair?
It says that for him, if he offers you anything, it will be unfair even to you.
No.
It is not expected.
No. It's important that he tells me what he thinks.
That would be unfair. It is important for you who is selling to say, okay, this is the quantity the thousand is worth. He believes in that kind of scenario.
This sounds pretty good. Jake, what's the right address? What should I call you?
Yeah, Sheikh. Yes, every prince is Sheikh.
Okay, 20%.
We will be happy. Once all of this is we can extend the rest of the pieces and work it out as quick as possible.
I'm surprised I told you, say, oh.
So it's also interested to leading into the powers that be. You say, you know.
So this is just a portion of the exposés that talks about exactly what happened, and on the basis of which the special prosecutor is saying that because one, even though he has sufficient evidence of influence peddling by Charles Eduboahing, because Ghana currently has not criminalized influence peddling, so there is no legal mandate to pursue the prosecution. And let's go on to Zoom now, and Martin Bebo is private legal practitioner, is joining us. Martin Bebo, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us here on Hot Edition.
Good evening.
Great. Now, so is this a closed chapter in this Charles Eduboahing case?
No. I'm calling on the public. I think we have to do a petition, maybe 2,000 signatures, or we can reduce it, 100 signatures. Let's petition the OSP to review the investigation report it has done on Eduboahing, because this report is not up to scratch. This report is not up to scratch. You can't say there's no law on influence peddling. This, what do you call it? The report itself doesn't go far enough. No, we will not accept this report. This can't be. Hey, Charlie, we are in a tight situation. If we let this Eduboahing case go, then I don't know which other case of corruption we can prosecute in Ghana. The man is taking money to perform public functions, office, services that I should be performing as a minister for free. If an investor is coming in and he needs to see the vice president or the president, why should he be taking money? Then you say this is not influence peddling. So you take them there, and even said they should give the vice president 200,000. These are jokes. Kisei Jabin should get serious on this matter. No, with time, the way this case, for 24 hours, he's not coming back to retract and to say he will review the thing again. I'm getting concerned. We can't do this. This thing cannot be allowed to lie. This is corruption. Look, forget about the name influence peddling. The thing, what do you think? Look, by any event, even though it's influence peddling, it's also corruption. And I've read, let me see, can I read section, listen, what do you call it? 252. There are a number of sections we are going to read. 252, 179C, 239, 240. They are all clear. He said, Eduboahing will be caught. It's no joke. Look, let's go to 252. 1 second.
Hello, lawyer.
Yes.
You're talking. You want to quote 252?
Yes. Do you have it?
No. I'm still looking through. But if you're able to pull it up.
Just 1 second. I have it here. 252 says that, look, accepting. Now, when I say 252 of our Criminal Offences Act, Act 29, its previous name is the Criminal Code, but we've changed the name. So today, a criminal code is a dead name. So we just say Criminal Offences Act. I know it's a long name, but it says 252. A person who accepts or agrees or offers to accept a valuable consideration under pretense or color of having unduly influenced or of agreeing or being able to influence any other person in respect of functions as a public officer or juror commits a misdemeanor. That misdemeanor has been changed to felony. Okay? Yes. Now, so what you see here is that he has, so this one, he's not yet done it. So this one is the agreeing or being able to agree. So he says he is able to influence any other person in respect of functions as a public officer. Listen, what did they say they were going to do? He says he wants to invest. And why he says, oh, me, I will take you to the vice president and we'll do X, Y, Z. Sharp, sharp, sharp. You know why they're going to vice president? Let me tell you practically, if you want a banking license, you can't just stop at Bank of Ghana. No, you need politicians to support it. And let me tell you, this is not the first time. Even Atta Mills, who was known to be honest and everything. When Energy Bank, I think that's Energy Bank, they were coming. They said it. It's public news. They supported Atta Mills in the elections, the one that brought him into office. Then they said, what can they do? What do they want? Then the man said he was the Nigerian businessman said he doesn't want anything. Long story short, eventually I said, okay, if they give him a banking license. So Atta Mills said yes. So Bank of Ghana to give the license. We are joking. You think that's how banking license is given? If you have no political support, nobody gives a banking license. Banking license comes with the imprimatur, with the consent of a big politician, president, vice. You're joking. Banking license is not small business. Yes, you can get all the things right on paper, but the actual license, it involves politicians at the top. So look, let's stop kidding ourselves. This thing is plain corruption. I've read you 252. He says that he can help him. He'll take him to the vice and they'll work on it.
But you see, I'm thinking about it this way. Does it not concern you that even up until now, our legal architecture has not considered a law that criminalizes influence peddling? If what you're saying is anything to go by, that influence peddling is just corruption, is equated to corruption, as you can put it in its clear terms. But then there's this lacuna in our law about that specific act of influence peddling.
No, I don't see any lacuna. The thing is that, let me read it again. You even hear them using influence. Let's read. It says, a person who accepts or agrees or offers to accept a valuable consideration. When I say valuable consideration, that's anything that's useful. It's no waste money, but anything that's useful. Under pretense or color of having unduly influence. Have you heard the word influence? Then two, or of agreeing or being able to influence. You see, any other person in respect of functions as a public officer or juror or blah, blah, blah. Yes. So you hear the word influence too. So look, listen, if what they mean is that obviously, what maybe you say is that this is not all of the meaning of influence peddling. No, this is not all of it. Naturally, it has various other forms, right? That sometimes the person may not take money immediately. He will wait, okay? Then subsequently, when they move on now in future, before he will take, there are those other ones. So we can make laws to further capture them, but not this one. This one, look, he took the money, and he says that, look, he can influence, he will take him to the vice and they will work it out, all right, to be able to get the license. And that's why he said even it's because of part of the method of influencing the vice. That's why he said they should give the vice to what? 200,000. You think if it was not influencing, why? The businessman is Father Christmas, why is he going to give the vice president $200,000? Why? Is he just throwing money away? This is a classical case of influence peddling, corruption. This is a classical case. Look, later on, we can think about federal laws. That's always the problem. The one we have now, we've not finished using, and then people they are already clamoring, oh, let's make a new law. We don't need, let's use this one to prosecute first. When we are done, then we'll think about the other areas of influence peddling that have not arisen. Now, Mr. Ocansey, apart from this, there's also section 179. 179
of the Constitution? Or,
no, 179
of Act
29, the Criminal Offences Act.
Okay.
It says that's the one you said I was quoting to you, that don't use public office for private gain. It says, using public office for profit. A person commits a criminal offense who, A, while holding a public office, corruptly or dishonestly abuses the office for private profit or benefit. For private profit or benefit. When he collected that money, is that a minister's salary? $40,000. Is that a minister's salary? When he came to Ghana, why didn't he declare it to the president that this is the gift I received? So that the president will now order that, okay, go and show it to Shraj. Shraj, look into it. Can he keep it? Or the president will say, hand it over to the Minister for Finance. Let's put it in the consolidated, what do you call it?
Consolidated fund, yes.
Right? Yes. So why? Why are we joking with this? It says don't use it for private profit or benefit. So when the man was giving him, it was clear that he was giving him the money. The sheikh was giving him the money in the context that you are Minister of State. And so you have the right connections to be able to connect and influence Vice President Mahmoud Baumia. That's the basis on which the money was given. And it's clear. That one is clear. Nobody is denying that. So look, Kissi Ejabin got it wrong. There are too many offenses. He should throw them at Edubuahin. He should just go back. So Mr. Ocansey, look, somebody should lead this thing. Let's sign some signatures. Even if it's 100, yes, it's sufficient. Then we'll go and give it to Kissi Ejabin to tell him that he got it wrong. He should look at it again. Look, for us, as long as we've seen the word influence in the section 252, that's why we have courts. So where the two people disagree on the meaning, let the court decide. It's not as if there's a court decision in Ghana here which says that the 252 is not influence peddling. No, there must always be a first time. If it goes to court and the court says, so even rather than going for the, what do you call it, full trial, maybe they can say they want to set down that question for the judge to answer that first, whether influence peddling, that is it, that's the right offense or not. If it is not, then what do you call it? The case can, if it is not, then the case comes to an end. But if it is, then the case will go on. So in our criminal laws, there is a way to deal with this when they get to court. So what will happen is that if it is true that the section 252, it is not influence peddling, what Edubuahin's lawyer will do is that they will apply to dismiss the charges because they will say, no, that's the wrong law. Okay? Yeah, and it's still sanctioned under our laws. They will say the facts don't support the charge. You hear lawyers tell you that the facts don't support the charge. So you move the court, you file a motion immediately after the bail and those things. You don't wait for the trial to go on, spend all the resources years. No, immediately there's a way to file it so that the judge will look at it, whether the facts support the charge. If the facts don't support, then they will cancel the 252. Then we'll be left with 179. Don't use public office for private gain. Hey, Master, look, let's stop joking. This thing, I think we should stop talking so much on radio and let's get anti-citizens also step out. Let's do a petition. I've learned a lot of these things. So sometimes you want other citizens to also get up. We just do a simple letter. Dear Mr. Kissi Ejabin, we want you to this is what you can review your decision not to prosecute this in Charles Edubuahin. So then we just start writing names. Yes, Alfred Ocansey. Then you sign. Yes, Atu Kwamina Hazel. You sign. And Danny sign. All the people, you just sign. That's all. You don't need any extras. You just grab paper. Mr. Ocansey, you can lead or get one of the listeners listening today. You should just start it. Just simple, like two sentences. Dear Special Prosecutor, we are not happy with the decision, your investigation, Charles Edubuahin case. Please, we want you to look at it again. Then we start signing. That's all. We're going to give it to him. It's not in a big English. Because you see, we need to push him to look. We all make mistakes. You see, Ejabin is not an angel. He's not an angel and he's not God. He cannot know everything. So on occasions like this, citizens have to get up for us to tell that, no, we disagree. And especially where one of his lieutenants, Sami Dako, agrees that influence peddling is very close to corruption. So meaning somebody could be getting it wrong. If he had said they are very far apart, that's different. I say very, very close. So take it to the court. Let the court decide if this one is or is not. And as I said, thankfully, there's a way they will apply when you get to court. There's a way this thing can be taken quickly. Lawyers will apply to dismiss the charges because the facts don't support the charge. It's allowed. It's in the case people haven't seen it. It's in one of the Martin Pebu cases. Martin Pebu number 2 versus Attorney General number 2. When you go to the opinion of Chief Justice Georgina Wood, you see she refers to it. That thing is still good law, criminal law. It's still there. Apart from that case, you also hear there's another case, Sedu versus the Republic. That's also another popular case where lawyers will tell you that the facts, meaning the case you've presented to the court, what has happened, does not support the law you are quoting. The facts don't support the charges. So when it is that, the charges can be dismissed. So you don't have to wait to the end. So let's do that. If we get to court and the court says yes, this one, and in any event, even when they cancel the influence peddling one, there is also the matter of don't use public office for private gain. That money Edubuahin took, what was he taking it for? Is that not public office he has used? Why was the sheikh giving him the money? Because he's minister, and because he, with the office of minister, he can use it to influence vice president. Me, Martin Pebu, you think I can just go to the vice president's office and say, I want to see him, a businessman needs a license? No. So it's the office he is using because of that office. So, look, and that's why I'm saying that, look, let's make it very clear. Your headline should read that OSP has to order Charles Edubuahin to bring the $40,000 within the next 72 hours. And then they should open the file again and look at it. They should open the file again.
Right.
We can't allow this thing to continue.
Lawyer Martin Bebo, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. But maybe quickly, in a minute. I mean, this is a special prosecutor who is a very respected lawyer in good standing for that matter. And you haven't minced words on your support for this special prosecutor for that matter. Would you say that something as basic, because from the way you put it, there are so many laws that the special prosecutor could have relied on to prosecute this case. And that doesn't need, just as you said, even me, I can put, together with my colleagues, we can put something on paper and we submit it. That's as basic as it is, or it can get. So would you say that the special prosecutor can be forgiven for glossing over a basic reference to such laws that are evident and present to prosecute this case? Or as some have suggested, that it was a deliberate cover-up, like for what the NDC is making the point this evening?
So what I'll do, Mr. Ocansey, like you said, I've supported him in the past, and I'll support him tomorrow when he gets it right. So because of that, I will reserve judgment and not crucify him too much. What we expect is that, look, he's made a mistake, and we are all stakeholders. We have seen the mistake, and we are pointing out to him. So he should just go and do it. He should just review the thing and get it right. You see, because Mr. Ocansey, we all make mistakes. So if today, because he's made a mistake, we just want to throw out the baby with the bathwater, tomorrow we will not have the same special prosecutor. So that's how come the beauty of the game is that whatever report he wrote, he brought it out into the public, and we have read and we've seen the mistake and we are pointing out. So you should just go back, eat humble pie, and then do the needful. Yes. But in the meantime, Mr. Edubuahin has to be ordered to bring that money to the OSP within 72 hours whilst further investigations go on.
Martin Bebo, I appreciate your time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Martin Bebo is a private legal practitioner. He is the leader of one of the individual bondholder groups and the convener for the Kumi Preko Reloaded demonstration. This is Hot Edition. Now, let's go straight to Parliament because the Electoral Commission has laid before Parliament a constitutional instrument for the establishment of the Guan constituency. Now, the representation of the People's Amendment Instrument 2023 seeks to capture the Santrokofi, Akpafu, Likpe and Lolobi, that's the Sal traditional areas that were unable to vote for a parliamentary candidate in the 2020 general election. So as we speak, these communities, that's the Santrokofi, Akpafu, Likpe and Lolobi, do not have representation in Parliament. And that's been a very, very serious issue for constitutional watchers and lawyers. The likes of Professor Kukuwaza continue to describe this Sal situation as the cardinal sin of this current democracy that we are practicing. And we understand that there's a development to this CI because this is not just for the creation of the Sal constituency, but a lot more constituencies as well. And that's what the minority in Parliament is kicking against. And our chief parliamentary correspondent, Komla Kloche, is joining me on the telephone. Komla, it's been a busy day on the first day of the Parliament resumption, is it not, with this CI that has been laid by the Electoral Commission?
Yes, it's been quite a lot with respect to this. Well, it's not been official yet from the Electoral Commission or government side that they are taking the laying of the constitutional instrument on the new supposed constituencies. But I mean, news was rife earlier today about the fact that the majority leader was going to lay that. Later, we got to know that it was purposely for the Guan constituency. Yes, this has been an issue on the plate for Parliament and also the Electoral Commission. But I mean, in referring the matter to the subsidiary legislation of the House, the Speaker indicated that the committee should work assiduously to ensure that this is done, and for the people who, I mean, in using the word cardinal, as repeated by the Speaker, the committee will work assiduously to ensure that this creation of the Guan constituency will happen. But even if it will happen, not in this current Parliament, because they have not had representation, and it doesn't appear that they will have in the life of this Parliament. And so it will mean that the next Parliament, which would be the 9th, that is where they are going to have representation if the creation is done. So the bill will have to mature for the 21 compulsory days, and then after that, the House will do a consideration, and then the creation will be done. But the minority has been reacting to a report of the creation of new constituencies. There was a report about 24 more being created in addition to the Guan making it 25. Deputy Minority Chief Whip Ahmed Ibrahim has indicated that it's the wrong move. If indeed there is any intention of the Electoral Commission to do this, they will not agree to it. In fact, they will resist every attempt. He makes the point that if they dare do this, the civil society organizations who are monitoring situations in the country, also looking at the fact that the current economic situation of the country is nothing to write home about, no attempt should be made. If they dare do it, CSOs will march up to Parliament and beat as MPs. This is what he had to say.
So we've been lambasted on it. And that is the reason why there was the need for us to make sure that the good people of Guan are given their constituency. And that's what has been done. Now you are asking me of the creation of another constituency. That one is not before us, and we have not heard it.
Will the minority support it?
Clearly, there is no where we are now. Will any right-thinking person think of creating other constituencies? You've messed up the entire economy. People's money that they are deposited, you are saying you cannot find. You are giving everybody haircut. The president has said that he's not going to establish any new institution again. Was it not Parliament that he came to say? So if you are going to create other constituencies, what are you telling us? Before that statement, Guan district had been created. So this one is regularization. But to create the house capacity after the expansion, it was built for 140 people. Then it was expanded to 200, expanded to 230, expanded to 275. Now, there is no way you can expand it again, and that is why they were going to build a new chamber to take 450 MPs. Kobra, with this current economy, flood is taking people, relief items you cannot procure. NADMO is helpless. People are being flamed in water. Then you say you are going to create consensus for them to come and vote. Where will be the people to go and vote? You see, we should think about the people themselves, that people elect us to come there. Do you remember when I said the president was pushing the Electoral Commission to create 25 new constituencies? And they came to say that it was not true. What has happened? So I'm hearing it for the first time after they've debunked it that they were not going to create.
Will the minority resist this?
But now you are telling me of when we get to the bridge, we will cross it. Because I know if the government really has control of the economy, he will not be thinking of creating consensus at this time.
Well, so that's the minority's position on this matter. But Kamla, so what will be the path that this CI will travel for the creation of the Guan constituency?
Well, the CI has been laid for a mandatory 21 days. After it matures, this is for consideration and work to be done on by the subsidiary legislation. When they are done, we'll bring it forth to the House. There will be a debate on it. The House will take a decision, and the rest would follow as such for it to create it. I mean, it would necessarily have to wait for the mandatory 21 days before they can do anything about it. If there's any amendment or there's anything that has to be done, it has to be done, within the period that it has to mature.
And then on this spillage of the excess water from the Akonsombo and Kpong dams, and this was also topical in Parliament. Now, you indicate that the majority in Parliament say they're going to haul the VRA boss before the House?
Of course, this was early in the morning when before the start of proceedings today, my majority indicated that indeed the VRA has questions to answer. Well, both sides of the House have been unanimous in their call on the VRA to answer to questions on this. The Speaker, the House would ensure that this is done and that appropriate recommendations will be made. The issue of compensation and others was emerged. Speaker said all of this would be looked into with recommendations done so that a future damage of this is not done to people who may be affected again. But the Minister of Energy is to brief the House tomorrow on the state of the spillage, also from the side of the ministry, what they have been doing to avert or to reduce the plight of the people. We know BRA has issued a statement that they have been with the spillage. The waters, we understand, is receding gradually. It's still stagnant in some of the areas downstream the lower Volta Basin. The Minister of Energy, Dr. Machupoku Prempe, will be addressing the House on what the ministry is doing to alleviate the plight of the people who are affected by the spillage.
I believe we may need to find some answers to some questions. And I guess the Speaker is not yet here. But when the Speaker comes, we'll have some discussions with him. And I believe it will be important for us to invite VRA to come and fully brief the House about what has happened, the repercussions, and how to avoid any future such events. Of course, you're looking at the integrity of the dam itself. Fancy the situation, this was not done. And the dam itself got breached. You know, the impounded water, its effect stretches to as far as Yeji and beyond. And if all the impounded water is flowing out within, say, 1 week, can you fathom the devastation that it will cause the nation? Maybe about a quarter of this country will be gone. But we hope to God that it doesn't happen. However, what has happened has affected some people. How do we help to assist them and also to arrest any future such events? Which is why I'm saying that it will become important for us. It will become important for us to invite the BRA to have some discussions with them on that.
Now, Kamala, is the session still ongoing, or it has been Parliament has gone on recess?
No, the recess. Recess means that they've gone on break again. But what it is that they got sitting till tomorrow 10 o'clock in the forenoon, where they will come back. And just like I said, the Minister of Energy is supposed to brief the House on the issues pertaining to the flooding. But the MPs have been making statements on this, and they've been expressing varied opinions, asking for support and commitment from the government on the matter. But I must say that they've been quite unanimous in showing empathy to the people who have been affected.
I appreciate your time on this. Kamala Kluche is our chief parliamentary correspondent, giving us updates of the proceedings in Parliament earlier today. Parliament resumes tomorrow at 10 a.m. We'll definitely bring you a lot more details on it. But while we're at it, and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is rounding up his campaign. This is in the Upper East region, where we're monitoring quite closely what's been happening there. And also the Member of Parliament for the Techiman South constituency, Martin Ejimensah-Kosa, has indicated that he will change his name if Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia loses the November 4 NPP flag bearer race.
Bawumia cut his way well. I mean, he comes across as somebody who's always known what he's about politically. And that, for me, is the paradox. A non-political animal who has metamorphosed into a giant political force. I think that his stewardship in the NPP, how he's conducted himself, how he's related with people, and how he served this party, it's earned him the current role that he's in. Bawumia doesn't have to, and wouldn't have gotten to where he is if he decided to use coercion or intimidation or no. His acceptability among the ranks and file of the NPP people. What I have observed on his campaign trails, I think, is the biggest research that anybody can refer to, and it's a very big endorsement of what's going to happen on Saturday.
Will you be shocked if Dr. Bawumia does not emerge the winner on Saturday?
I'll change my name from Martin to Martha.
If
Bawumia doesn't win, call me Martha when you see me. Yes. I'll change my name from Martin to Martha. In other words, the world would have been coming to an end. Bawumia's win, my brother, he's giving
That's Martin Ejimensah-Kosa. Yeah, he says he's going to change his name from Martin to Martha if Bawumia loses this flag bearer elections on Saturday. We'll see. And Michael Obodo is here. You're going to change your name from Michael to what?
I'm not a politician.
Michael is getting into the world of business. Stay with us here on Hot Edition on 3FM 92.7.
Hello there, good evening. Welcome to the business segment here on Hot Edition. My name is Michael Obodu. Now let's go straight into our stories now, as the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, ISE, is projecting that it has raised concerns that the government will continue to fall short of its e-levy revenue target into the coming year unless further adjustments are made to the rate. These concerns arises as the government prepares to present its 2024 budget in the coming weeks. Executive Director of ISE, Professor Peter Quartey, was addressing the media on the sidelines of the launch of the State of the Ghanaian Economy report by his outfit.
If it becomes expensive, I could decide instead of paying e-levy, transferring using my phone or transferring using the bank account or e-transfer, I would walk to the bank and pay in cash or pay by check. So there are alternatives to avoiding the e-levy. But if you make it cheaper, then I'll look at the service, I'll look at the benefit it gives. Instead of driving to the bank, I would rather use the electronic payment system. So I believe the rate, we still have to take a look at the rates, as well as tighten some of the loopholes. There are still challenges with the cash out system and a few other things. Once we tighten that, I believe we can rake in more revenue.
That was the director of the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, ISE, Professor Peter Quartey, speaking there. Now, the National Insurance Commission, NIC, is confident of a progressive increase in the adoption of insurance in the country, particularly through the use of mobile phones. According to Michael Ando, Acting Commissioner of Insurance, about 65% of the 7 million people roped in through its insurance inclusion efforts were enrolled through mobile platforms. He was speaking during the press briefing on the InnoLab InsurTech by FSD.
Inclusive insurance covers about 7 million people, and about 65% of that is sold through the mobile phone, as at now. Okay, I'm talking about relevance of technology. Okay, the mobile phone insurance changed the course of our inclusive insurance regime. Yeah, you don't need a smartphone to be able to yam and cassava all work. Okay, so any phone that people have, they are able to use it to buy. And mind you, we have about over 120% mobile phone penetration in this country. Almost every human being in this country has a phone. And so that is the best, most convenient, whatever channel that we can use. So it is very relevant. It is the way to go. It is the best channel that need to develop.
Michael Ando is Acting Commissioner at the National Insurance Commission. Now, away from that, the Ghana Stock Exchange has revealed that activity on the secondary bonds market has improved. According to its Managing Director, Abena Amwa, composite index has shot up to about 28%, depicting a gradual restoration of investor confidence after government's implementation of the domestic debt exchange program significantly impacted activities on the bonds market.
Many companies are growing at double digits growth rates. We are seeing secondary trading on the market also picking up. On the equities market so far this year, our composite index is up almost 28%. The financial stock index, which had recorded significant losses, are down. We've gained some of the losses, and we are down about 3.5% as at yesterday. And also companies are looking to come to the market to raise capital again. And so all of these for us are signs that things have stabilized and there is growth coming back to the market.
So that was Madame Abena Asare, who is Abena Amwa, who is the Managing Director of the Ghana Stock Exchange, bringing an end to the business segment here on Hot Edition. For more business stories, please check out our website, 3news.com. My name is Michael Obodu. Thank you for listening. As always, please stay safe. And up next is sports.
Well, it's time for sports here on Hot Edition. My name is Kelvin Otwanta, and the Black Queens once again have proven beyond all reasonable doubt they are capable of qualifying for the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. Well, my colleague Belishan was at the Accra Sports Stadium where the Black Queens managed to defeat their Beninoan counterparts by 2-0, qualifying on a 5-0 aggregate.
The game has just ended here at the Accra Sports Stadium with the Black Queens taking home a 2-0 victory on the day and a 5-0 aggregate win as they move on to round 3 of the 2024 Olympic Games qualifiers. Now, for most of the encounter, the Black Queens were struggling to find their rhythm, especially in the first half. But in the second half, they did step up, creating a number of good clear-cut chances to score. And Evelyn Bedu, of course, finished her chance in the second half. And an own goal from a Benin defender ensured that victory for Nora Hopto's side. It is now 9 games in a row for Nora Hopto getting a win and also managing to keep a clean sheet in this game. So 9 games in a row with a clean sheet for Nora Hopto's side. And up next will be Zambia in round 3 of the qualifiers, and they will hope to get another victory to move ever closer to Paris. Bilishan, 4P Sports from the Accra Sports Stadium.
So that was Bilishan there from the Accra Sports Stadium. Now following the spillage of the Akosombo Dam, many families are struggling to find their feet in affected areas. Football club Mepel Ladies cannot be exonerated from this frustration. Well, they are looking forward to getting the very best of support and help to make them get back into play. Bilishan has a lot more later on News 360, but this is the plight of the ladies.
The water took us most of our things, even our jerseys and balls, so we're not able to come to training.
It's affecting me while I'm sitting down in the house, not doing training. So I think I cannot be that Ronaldo I want to be.
And next month we are starting our league, and we don't know how we are going to play the league.
So that is the plight of Mepel Ladies Football Club. Now, the Ghana Premier League enters match week 9. Accra Hearts of Folk will be hosting Mediama Sporting Club at the Accra Sports Stadium on Wednesday afternoon. Head coach for Mediama, Augustin Evans Adote, are speaking ahead of that crucial encounter tomorrow.
I know Hearts to be a good side. I respect Hearts of Folk. The name is there. They have good players as compared to that of Mediama. I saw them in their last game against Samatex. Looking at Hearts of Folk, I can testify that we are facing a heckling tax on Wednesday. But all the same, I want to tell my fans to relax and trust that by close of the day, Mediama will give the fans good results.
So that is there from Augustin Evans Adote. Now still staying with football, but this time around Arsenal's Thomas Partey is ruled out for several months. Frustration continues to deepen within Arsenal circles as Mikel Arteta doesn't know when his midfielder is going to return. Arteta ahead of tomorrow's game against West Ham and without Partey.
I think he will be out for weeks. I don't know how long. But yes, he's got another appointment today, and we will see more after that. Yes, it's a big concern because when Thomas is fit and available and he's been part of the team, we've seen what the results and the impact that he had in the team. This season we have more protection, especially for that reason as well, because we know in the last 2 seasons what had happened and the impact that I had in the team. So we have to address that. And now it's happened, and it happened in football. I'm so sorry for him because I think he's doing every single thing that he can do to be there. He was gutted. We are all for him. But he needs to lift himself up again with our support and go again because he's a player that is critical for us.
Well, a very crucial player for Arsenal, according to Mikel Arteta. Now, Vinicius Jr., after winning the Socrates Award at the Ballon d'Or last night, has renewed his contract. He is going to stay at Real Madrid until the end of 2027. So that is Vinicius Jr. committing his future to the Los Blancos. And Saudi Arabia have been the only country confirmed by FIFA to have put in an official bid to host the 2034 FIFA World Cup. As it stands now, no other competitors put in, expecting Australia to also put in a bid, but as it stands now, it is only Saudi Arabia that has put in a bid for that World Cup. That will be all for sports. A cover comes your way with entertainment. My name is Calvin Oswanta.
Thank you very much, Kelvin, for the sports update. It's still hot edition on 3FM 92.7. Time now for the entertainment news segment powered by 3 Entertainment. My name is Akofa. A member of the Recording Academy, Richard Dean Barty, says Ghanaian artists and stakeholders in the local music industry need a united front, make their voice heard and stay true to their sound if they want to attract the attention of the Recording Academy. The award-winning publicist was speaking on New Day earlier today.
Is Ghana doing enough on the global market? And if we're not, what is missing? Because the Nigerians seem to have taken over with Afrobeats. Now it's even credited to the Nigerians, whether we like it or not. You know, but Ghanaian artists are also trying their best.
Yeah.
But for some reason, we're not hitting it like we
You
should.
guys have to come together, like, be one, be unified. And
We're not unified?
I don't think so. I think it feels like everyone is doing their own thing. Like, if you guys publicly, if you all come together and you're like, okay, this is what we're doing, become members of the Recording Academy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, have your voices heard. And that is what's going to make the difference.
That's all we need to do.
Yeah, that's the starting point.
And that's what's working for the Nigerians. So it's not even about the quality of music, PR, etc.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sure, like, it's good if people know, like, who the artist is or who the team is that works on a thing. But with the Academy specifically, it still comes down to the peers. Like, so no matter how great it is, because I'm sure you've seen, like, they'd be like, oh, you know, but Beyonce was snubs for this one, or Nicki Minaj should have won. And I think they're all great, and I think they should have won also, but that's not the determinant factor. That's not what makes you win.
Well, away from that, let's turn our attention to the African Movie Academy Awards, because Francis Y. Brown and his Animax FYB Animation Studios won the Jibril Malafia Award for Best Animation with the animation film Jabari. This makes them the only Ghanaians to have won a slot in this year's awards. Now, in a Facebook post, Francis Y. Brown, the CEO of the company, expressed his appreciation, and part of the post reads, "I want to extend my heartfelt appreciation to the extraordinary AMA Awards team for their unwavering commitment to recognizing and celebrating excellence in African cinema. Your dedication in creating this world-class award scheme that honors Africa's finest in film is truly commendable. This victory is not mine alone, nor does it belong solely to my dedicated team at Max FYB in Ghana. Instead, it is a triumph for an entire nation, my beloved motherland, Ghana." Now, this year's event was held at the Balmoral Convention Center of the Sheraton Hotel in Lagos, Nigeria over the weekend. Also, the African Movie Academy Awards is an annual award scheme to reward excellence among film professionals working in Africa or non-African professionals who have contributed to the African film industry. Now, the award scheme is also aimed at honoring and promoting excellence in the African movie industry, as well as uniting the African continent through arts and culture. And before I go, Ghanaian dancehall artist Shatta Wale has called off his much anticipated concert scheduled to take place at the hangar in Wolverhampton on November 4, 2023. According to a statement, the decision to cancel the event was informed by the inability of the promoters to meet some demands by the artist. Now, part of the statement reads, "We regret to announce the cancellation of the highly anticipated Shatta Wale concert scheduled to take place at the hangar in Wolverhampton on November 4, 2023. This decision has been made due to unforeseen circumstances concerning the artist's demands that the promoters have been unable to meet. Also, Afro Nation Nigeria 2023 has been cancelled. Tickets and booking fees to be refunded." That's according to the organizers. They say it is currently not possible to deliver a show that is of the quality that Nigeria deserves. That brings an end to the entertainment news segment here on Hot Edition, powered by 3 Entertainment. My name is Akofa. Thank you for your time, and join me at 8 p.m. as I come your way with Wind Down. The 3FM Drive team continues.